Nala Kadic, Wajak Murat, Khan Kardak, Nijabuja, we acknowledge Noongar people as the original custodians of this land, and I invite all of you to join me in prayer. Please bow your heads. Almighty God, we ask you to guide us in all of our discussions, to show goodness, honesty, understanding and wisdom in all that we undertake for the benefit of the city of Joondalup and our residents. May we respect each other's views at all times, and we ask all of this in your name. Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. I declare this special meeting open at 6 p.m. This evening, we are gathered not just to conduct business, but to celebrate three extraordinary individuals who have shaped the fabric of our city with passion, integrity, and a spirit of unwavering service. Tonight, we confer the City of Joondalup's highest civic honour, Honorary Freeman of the City, on Mr Michael Norman, the Honourable Pam Beggs JP, and the Honourable Cheryl Edwards AO. This accolade is reserved for those whose contributions have had a profound and lasting impact on the life of our community. It is not given lightly, and tonight's recipients exemplify the very purpose and prestige of this honour. They shall join a small, distinguished group of individuals whose names are forever etched in Joondalup's history. Brian Cooper, OAM. William or Bill Marwick, OAM. The late Margaret Cockman, OAM, and the late Nick Trandos, OAM. These names evoke stories of dedication, of vision, and of love for the community that we share. Now, Mike, Pamela, and Cheryl become part of that cherished legacy. The next item of business is declarations of interest. I have a few, and if any others have declarations, please do let me know. I have one from Councillor John Chester for item 7.1 and 7.3. It is an interest that may affect impartiality, as both Mike Norman and Cheryl Edwards are known to Councillor Chester. I have a declaration from Councillor O'Neill for item 7.3, also an interest that may affect impartiality, as the nominated Freeman is known to Councillor O'Neill. I also have a declaration from myself for both item 7.1, 7.2 and 7.3, as all nominees are known to myself, and to the best of my knowledge, I think I share membership of associations with nominees, probably a few. Are there any other declarations of interest? Councillor May.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Similar to yourself, for all items, all nominees are known to me.
Thank you. Any further declarations? Councillor Vinchulo.
Thank you. Through you, a similar scenario, impartiality, all nominees are known to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further declarations? Councillor Fishman.
Similarly, Mr Mayor, all nominees are known to me as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Jones.
Michael Norman is known to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. There being no further declarations at this time, the next item of business is public question time. Questions asked at a special meeting of Council must relate to the purpose for which the meeting has been called, and there's a set of procedures which applies. Are there any questions? If not, we proceed to public statement time. As with public question time, there's a set of procedures which applies, and statements must relate to the reasons for which the meeting has been called. Are there any statements? If not, that concludes public statement time. Next item of business is apologies and leaves of absence. I have three leaves of absence, being Councillor Raftis, Councillor Kingston, and also Councillor Hutton. Are there any requests for a leave of absence, councillors? If not, we can deal with that at the next meeting, and we move on to items of business, which is, first of all, item 7.1, bestowal of the title of Honorary Freeman of the City of Joondalup upon Michael Norman. I therefore move the recommendation that Council bestows the title of Honorary Freeman of the City of Joondalup upon Michael Norman, and 2, that the Certificate of Freeman of the City be affixed with the common seal and signed by the Mayor and Chief Executive Officer. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Seconded, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the contributions of Mike Norman. Mike Norman is a shining example of grassroots leadership. Serving 3 terms as a councillor for the South West Ward, including a term as Deputy Mayor, Mike was a driving force in environmental reform. He has played a key role in driving the higher waste diversion percentage rates across the city, ones that he was previously advised were ones that have been technically and economically achievable. Mike has successfully campaigned to have a caltrop declared a pest plant, protecting our native ecosystems and, from my observation, virtually eradicating it from the city. Through his tireless work with the Joondalup Community Coast Care Forum and other conservation groups across our city, Mike has helped rehabilitate our coastal dunes. He has nurtured pride in our natural assets, and his ongoing passion reminds us that local actions can inspire global change. In an article published by the Conservation Council of WA in 2023, Mr. Norman was asked what motivated his efforts, and he replied, "Getting involved at a local level is a window into those much bigger issues. By understanding what's going on in your own backyard, you can begin to understand the big picture issues that are happening right across the world." Council, are there any other comments on the motion? If not, I'll put that motion, and by a show of hands, those in favour? Those against? Declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. We now move on to item 7.2, and I move that Council 1 bestows the title of Honorary Freeman of the City of Joondalup upon the Honourable Pamela Beggs, JP, and 2, that the certificates of Freeman of the City be affixed with the common seal and signed by the Mayor and Chief Executive Officer. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Seconded, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. The Honourable Pamela Beggs broke barriers and built bridges during her time in State Parliament. Elected in 1983 as the member for Whitford, she went on to become one of the first women to serve as a minister in a Western Australian Labor government alongside Kay Hallahan. Pamela's ministerial portfolios, ranging from housing to planning to tourism and transport, saw her shape key policies that have touched lives across our region and across our state. Notably, she was a passenger on the inaugural train journey from Perth CBD to Joondalup train station in 1992, a milestone in the development of our transport infrastructure and of our city centre. A long-standing resident of the Wanneroo and Joondalup region since the 1970s, Pamela Beggs has continued to contribute to the community following her time in Parliament. She ran a small business in the heart of her former electorate and continues to advocate passionately for residents, particularly now as President of the Whitford's Seniors Citizens Club. Are there any other comments on this motion, Council? If not, I therefore put the motion, and by a show of hands, those in favour? Against? Declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. We now move on to item 7.3. And I move that Council 1 bestows the title of Honorary Freeman of the City of Joondalup upon the Honourable Cheryl Edwards AO, and 2, that the certificates of Freeman of the City be affixed with the common seal and signed by the Mayor and Chief Executive Officer. Do I have a second? Seconded, Deputy Mayor. Thank you. The Honourable Cheryl Edwards AO has been a pioneer in law, in governance and in community service. Mrs Edwards was the State Member of Kingsley from 1989 and a former Cabinet Minister until her retirement from state politics in 2005. She has held many senior frontbench portfolios, including that of Western Australia's first female Attorney General. Among her many achievements, Mrs Edwards, as Environment Minister, presided over the opening of the Bibbulmun Track in September of 1998. Mrs Edwards was awarded an Order of Australia in the Queen's Birthday Honours List in 2016 for significant services to the people and Parliament of Western Australia. She was also named an Officer of the Order of Australia, AO, in the 2025 Australia Day Honours for distinguished service to the law and social justice, to resource management and environmental sustainability, to business and to the community. Since leaving the Parliament, Cheryl has remained deeply engaged in the not-for-profit and mining sectors, championing causes that make real differences, including through supporting grandparents who are raising grandchildren and helping trauma survivors through Angel Hands and mentoring youth with EdConnect. Her enduring commitment to public good continues to shape our civic culture. Are there any other comments on this motion, Council? If not, I'll put the motion and by a show of hands invite you to cast your vote. Thank you. I declare that vote carried unanimously. That concludes those motions. Now, perhaps one of the more important bits, I'll begin by inviting Mike Norman to the centre of the chamber to sign the certificate and say a few words.
Good evening. It was certainly a surprise and an honour to be nominated as a Freeman by the City of Joondalup Council. I didn't expect that. It's also, in some respects, a recognition of all the volunteers in the Friends Group who are doing a great job in the City of Joondalup, particularly the coordinators, because it's quite a difficult role being a coordinator, quite a time-consuming role. I was looking through some of my documents to see when I first made contact with my local government authority on an official basis, and it was the City of Joondalup, and it was about the prescribed burn in Robin Park, which is near where I live, and the impact of that prescribed burn. So that was my first communication. But I actually started volunteering in earnest in 1979 when I was a founding member of the Men of the Trees organisation, which is now called Trillion Trees. And since that time, 1979, I've been doing about 500 man-hours of volunteering a year, in both on ground and in the office. Sometimes more than that. And I always, particularly retired people like myself now, I always encourage people to volunteer their skills to the community. They've got a lifetime of skills, and last I heard there were 360 organisations in the City of Joondalup that require volunteers and could use your skills. So I see myself as always volunteering as long as I can. Volunteering is part of my life and contributing to the environment. There are so many issues in the environment. The environment does need help, and I look forward to continuing in my work and also continuing to represent the city as a Freeman. So thank you very much.
I now invite forward the Honourable Pamela Beggs.
Lord Mayor and councillors, this is indeed a great honour, and it's also a great honour to be a long-term resident of the City of Wanneroo and now the City of Joondalup. Excuse me, I didn't know I had to talk, Annie. When I was asked would I accept the position, I immediately thought of a few people that I know that have come before me. One, Nick Trandos. Now, Nick had different politics to me, but he was a fine man. He was very supportive. He knew what was right for the city and he did it. He didn't care about the ramifications for himself personally, he just did it. Then, of course, somebody who I had a close connection with was Bill Marwick. Now, Bill came, I don't think he's here now, he came when it was his son's birth. Oh, you are still here, Bill. You are. Bill was the editor-owner of the Wanneroo Times when it was our local paper. It isn't any longer, of course, and Bill reported the news fairly always. And he took good photos of me and that mattered back in the day. Living in Joondalup, the city of Joondalup, but living in the northern suburbs was a strange thing. I came with my husband and 3 little kids. One was only 5 weeks old, and I knew I'd come home. And somehow I feel as though I need a passport to go south of the river. I have loved being involved in this community in many ways. As a JP, I have met people from every walk of life, every walk of life. As a Member of Parliament, it was a great privilege to serve the state of Western Australia, but an even greater privilege to serve the people of this area. And now, in my dotage, I am now looking after the seniors of the City of Joondalup, and it's a great pleasure. So, thank you for recognising the work of all of the people who have done such great work in this community. Margaret Cockman was another one that I admired greatly, who's now passed, and I knew Brian as well, and I don't think Brian is here. But oh, you're here too, Brian, how lovely. So nice to see you. So, thank you again, it's a great honour, and I will serve the city again as a Freeman as much as I can and still advocate on behalf of all of those who need representation. Thank you.
I now invite forward to be conferred as Freeman of the City, the Honourable Cheryl Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor and councillors. Thank you very much for the honour that you've bestowed upon me. I was very humbled when I received the call. To my fellow Freeman, Bill Marwick, Brian Cooper, to Newley, Mike Norman, Pam Beggs, thank you very much for coming along tonight, Bill and Brian. Helping people has always been in my DNA. I look forward to continuing to do that for a very long time and working closely with the City of Joondalup on any area and matters that need help and support.
What I may do, just briefly, because I also have Bill Marwick and Brian Cooper, is if I can invite Mike and Pam and Cheryl just before you go all the way back. And if I can invite, because we have all of the Freemen here tonight, if you could all please make your way down. This is a rare opportunity for us as a city to capture a photo. And I will ask, actually, if the councillors are happy to join us for this photo as well, behind the Freemen. As we are still in session, I'll just make some concluding comments before I close the meeting. First of all, on behalf of the Council and the community that we all serve, I extend the warmest congratulations to Mr Mike Norman, the Honourable Pam Beggs JP and the Honourable Cheryl Edwards AO, and may this honour stand as a symbol of our appreciation and admiration for your service and also inspire others in the community to similar service over many decades. Can I say also to the family and supporters who have stood beside you every step of the way, this honour belongs to you as well, and it's very special that we can have you join us here this evening. Behind every great act of service is a network of love, of support and encouragement. And in the case of people who become Freemen, That love, support and encouragement has been happening for decades, and tonight we recognise you as well, and it's very special that you can all be here. If I can say on a personal level, and something that my predecessor put in place when we first brought in Freeman, many would have noticed from council meetings there's always an empty chair which sits to the right of the mayor. It doesn't have to always be empty. That chair is actually reserved for Freeman of the city. So if you do attend a meeting, you are the 5 people who are invited to come and sit up here as recognition of your status in our community and your long-term service to our community. And finally, in closing, thank you for your indulgence in the photo at the end. I've never done that in the middle of a formal council meeting before, even though it's a special one, special council meeting. The reason I did that, and you'll notice from the boards outside, which the team have done a great job putting together, some of the photos that we have, but the project of pulling them together from these 3 remarkable individuals' decades of service made me realise how much we have missed of the work that you have done. So I thought I wasn't going to miss the chance for posterity to get that photo up here tonight. That concludes tonight's council meeting, and I hereby close the meeting at 6:28 p.m. Thank you, and we'll speak shortly. Congratulations again.